Assalamu alaikum. And this lecture is about assessment of ear, nose, mouth and throat. We will study in this two part. In today's lecture, we will discuss about assessment of ear. So first of all, we will review the anatomy of ear. Ear is divided into three sections. These are external ear, middle ear and inner ear. External ear comprises auricle or pinna and external auditory canal. The diagram is showing the anatomy of ear. While middle ear comprises three small bones, these are malleus, which the other name for malleus is hammer, incus, the other name for incus is anvil, and stapes, the other name for stapes is stirrup, and the tympanic membrane and Eustachian tube. Inner ear comprises labyrinth, vestibule, semicircular canals and cochlea. There are two pathways of hearing. These are vibrations of sound passes through the air of the external ear and are transmitted through the eardrum, and ossicles of the middle ear to the cochlea, which is the part of the inner ear. The cochlea senses and then codes the vibrations and nerve impulses and send them to the brain through the cochlear nerve. The first part of this pathway from the external ear through the middle ear is known as conductive phase, and a disorder here causes conductive hearing loss. And the second part of the pathway involving the cochlea and the cochlear nerve is called sensory neural phase. A disorder here causes the sensory neural hearing loss. Assessment is begin with taking health history and involve questioning about infections, discharge, hearing loss, any environmental noises, tinnitus, vertigo, otorrhea, otalgia and self-care. Common presenting complaint about ear may be hearing loss, and assessment of this is done by using the mnemonic old card, which is onset, questioning about onset, location, duration, characteristic symptoms, associated manifestations, relieving factors and treatment. General approach involve greeting the patient, explaining assessment techniques. The environment should be quiet and well lighted. The assessment is done in sitting position and comparing right side to the left, and always use systematic approach. Equipment required are otoscope, pen light, tuning fork in frequency 256, 512 and 1024 Hz, watch, gaze square, cotton tip applicators and gloves. In assessment of ear, the physical examination consists of three parts. These are auditory screening, inspection and palpation of external ear, and then otoscopic assessment. Auditory screening. Auditory screening is done via voice whisper test and tuning fork test. Voice whisper test and vestibular apparatus involves normal findings, and the patient is and the client is able to repeat words whispered at a distance of 2 feet. In tuning fork test, there are two tests. These are Weber test and Trine test. They determine whether the hearing loss is conductive or sensory neural. So hearing acuity is tested via voice whisper and balance test. In voice whisper test, first of all we will assess the patient via conversational speech and noting the behavioral response to conversational speech. These are lip reading, frowning, straining forward, turning to catch sounds, asks you to repeat and misunderstands the question. Voice test. This test is done via whispering the words and asking the patient to repeat. Test one ear at one time and cover the opposite ear. Distance should be 1 to 2 feet and whispered word should be repeated by the patient. Romberg test. This test is done to assess the vestibular apparatus and asking the patient to stand with feet together and arms at side. Eyes should be closed and hold this position for 20 seconds without losing balance. Then the second comes tuning fork test. This involves Weber test and a Rene test. So let's see what is the Weber test. In Weber test, a tuning fork is used to evaluate bone conduction of sound. The tuning fork should be tuned to the frequency of normal human speech, that is 512 cycles per second hertz. To perform Weber test, strike the tuning fork lightly against your hand and place the vibrating tuning fork on the patient's forehead at the midline or on the top of his head, as the picture is showing. So the findings of the Weber test will be: if the result is normal, then the patient hears tone equally well in both ears. If the patient hears tone better in one ear, then we will say that right or left lateralization of sound is present. If patient hears tone only in his impaired ear, then we will say that there is conductive hearing loss present. If patient hears tone only in his unaffected ear, then there is sensory neural hearing loss. Rene test. The Rene test is used to compare air conduction of sound with bone conduction of sound. To perform this test, strike the tuning fork against your hand. Place the vibrating tuning fork over the patient's mastoid process and ask the patient to tell you when the sound stops. Note this time in seconds and then again move the still vibrating tuning fork to the ear's opening without touching the ear or any part of the ear, and ask the patient to tell you when the tone stops, and again note this time in seconds. As the diagram is showing in picture A, the tuning fork is placed on the mastoid process, and on the second the tuning fork is closer to the ear opening. Findings of the Rene test: if the normal hearing, patient hears air conduction tone twice as longer, and he hears bone conduction tone. In the normal Rene test, air conduction is greater than bone conduction. In conductive hearing loss, the patient hears bone conduction tone as long as or longer than he hears air conduction tone. This is bone conduction is 3 times greater than air conduction. And sensory neural hearing loss will be said if the patient hears air conduction tone longer than he hears bone conduction tone, and this is air conduction is greater than bone conduction. Otoscopic assessment. In otoscopic assessment, inspect both ears. External ear canal is assessed for color, redness, lesions, swelling, discharge, presence of hair, foreign body or semen. And tympanic membrane. To assess tympanic membrane, pull the auricle upward and backward to straighten the auditory canal, as the diagram is showing in picture A. And then inserting the speculum. Insert the speculum 1/3 its length gently down and forward into the ear canal to inspect the cavity. Once the otoscope is positioned properly, as the diagram is showing picture B, and once the otoscope is positioned properly, you will see tympanic membrane, pars flaccida and bony structures. Normal findings may be: tympanic membrane is pearly gray with well-defined landmarks. Light reflex is present at 5 o'clock in right ear and 7 o'clock in left ear. Tympanic membrane moves when the patient blows against the resistance. No redness, swelling, tenderness, lesion, drainage or foreign bodies present. Abnormal findings involve chalky patches on tympanic membrane, severe pain, redness, swelling, narrowing of the canal and pain, drainage, hard, dry, very dark yellow cerumen, and reddened tympanic membrane. This diagram is showing the tympanic membrane in otitis media. This is all about the assessment of ear. Thank you.